Fat Margaret Museum. Fat Margaret Museum in Tallinn, a journey through history. The Fat Margaret Museum, also known as the Fat Margaret Cannon Tower and Museum of Estonian Maritime History, stands as one of the most iconic and well-preserved landmarks of medieval Tallinn. The museum encapsulates a rich blend of military, architectural and maritime history, playing a pivotal role in the defense of Tallinn's old town and now serving as a repository of Estonia's seafaring past. The origin of Fat Margaret. The Fat Margaret Tower, known locally as Pax Margarita, was constructed between 1511 and 1530 as part of a larger effort to fortify Tallinn's defenses during a period of heightened tensions across the Baltic region. Tallinn, located on the southern shore of the Gulf of Finland, was a critical port city due to its strategic location between Europe and Russia, and its thriving economy was closely tied to maritime trade. The tower was built at the northern end of the Tallinn Old Town, near the city's Great Sea Gate, Suur Rannavärav. The purpose of this imposing structure was twofold: to defend the harbor and to intimidate any potential invaders arriving by sea. With its immense size and thick walls, Fat Margaret was designed to be a formidable deterrent, and its massive artillery pieces were strategically positioned to ward off naval attacks. At 25 meters in diameter and with walls up to 5 meters thick, the tower earned the affectionate nickname Fat Margaret due to its massive, rotund shape. However, the exact origin of the name remains a matter of historical debate. Some historians suggest that it was named after a large cannon housed within the tower, while others believe that it was a reference to a local figure or simply a reflection of its physical proportions. A gateway to Tallinn's Old Town, Fat Margaret was not just a military installation, it was also the guardian of one of the main entry points into Tallinn. The Great Sea Gate, located adjacent to the tower, was one of the most important entrances to the medieval city, and it was through this gate that merchants, sailors, and travelers entered the town. Tallinn was a member of the Hanseatic League, a powerful commercial and defensive confederation of merchant guilds and market towns in northwestern and central Europe. As such, the city's economy was heavily dependent on maritime trade, and the Great Sea Gate was a vital link to the wider world. The tower and gate together symbolize the strength and prosperity of Tallinn, and their impressive architecture reflected the city's growing importance in the region. The tower was equipped with multiple levels of cannon placements, and its walls were strong enough to withstand bombardments from enemy ships. Beneath the tower, there were storage areas for ammunition, food, and supplies, ensuring that the defenders could hold out for extended periods in the event of a siege. The transformation into a prison. Although Fat Margaret was initially constructed as a military fortification, its role evolved over the centuries. In the 19th century, the tower was repurposed as a prison, and it remained in use for this purpose until the early 20th century. The thick walls and isolated location made it an ideal place for incarcerating criminals, and the tower's cold, damp interior must have been a grim environment for the prisoners held there. The transformation of Fat Margaret into a prison reflects the changing needs of Tallinn over the centuries. By the 19th century, the nature of warfare had shifted, and the medieval fortifications that once protected the city were no longer as effective in the face of modern artillery and warfare tactics. As a result, many of Tallinn's defensive structures were repurposed or fell into disuse, and Fat Margaret found new life as a penitentiary. During this time, the Great Sea Gate also lost much of its importance as a point of entry into the city. As Tallinn expanded beyond its medieval walls, new transportation routes and infrastructure were developed, and the old gate became less central to the city's daily life. However, the tower and gate remained an important symbol of Tallinn's history and heritage, and they were preserved as historical landmarks. The Museum of Estonian Maritime History. In 1980, Fat Margaret was given a new purpose once again, this time as the home of the Estonian Maritime Museum. The museum was established to preserve and showcase the rich maritime history of Estonia, a country with deep ties to the sea. The museum's location in the tower is fitting, as Fat Margaret was originally built to defend Tallinn's harbour and was intimately connected to the city's seafaring past. The museum features a wide range of exhibits that explore various aspects of Estonia's maritime history, from ancient seafaring traditions to modern-day maritime activities. Visitors can learn about the country's involvement in the Hanseatic League, its role in shipbuilding and navigation, and the lives of sailors and fishermen who have braved the waters of the Baltic Sea for centuries. One of the highlights of the museum is the extensive collection of ship models, which range from medieval merchant vessels to modern icebreakers. These detailed models offer a fascinating glimpse into the evolution of ship design and technology over the centuries. The museum also features a number of artifacts recovered from shipwrecks, including navigational instruments, tools, and personal items that provide insight into the daily lives of sailors. In addition to its permanent exhibits, the museum hosts temporary exhibitions that explore specific themes in greater detail. These exhibitions often focus on particular periods of history, such as the Age of Exploration or the Cold War, or on specific aspects of maritime culture, such as the development of lighthouses or the impact of piracy on the Baltic Sea. In 2019, Fat Margaret underwent a major restoration and modernization project aimed at preserving the historical integrity of the tower while also improving its functionality as a museum. The project involved restoring the original stone walls and repairing damage caused by centuries of wear and tear. In addition, modern heating, ventilation, and lighting systems were installed to ensure the comfort of visitors and to protect the museum's collection of artifacts. The restoration project also included the construction of a new observation deck on the roof of Fat Margaret. From this vantage point, visitors can enjoy panoramic views of Tallinn's old town, the harbour, and the Baltic Sea. The observation deck has quickly become one of the most popular features of the museum, offering visitors a unique perspective on the city and its maritime heritage. Today, Fat Margaret stands as a proud symbol of Tallinn's rich history and maritime heritage. The museum attracts visitors from around the world who are interested in learning about Estonia's seafaring past and exploring one of the best preserved medieval fortifications in the Baltic region. For Estonians, Fat Margaret is more than just a historical landmark. It is a testament to the resilience and determination of the people who have called Tallinn home over the centuries. The tower has withstood wars, invasions, and the passage of time, and it continues to play an important role in preserving the cultural heritage of Estonia for future generations.